Sigma males don't fit in, and that's why they're feared. Introduction. The quiet disruption in a world that idolizes visibility. Conformity and social validation. There exists a quiet anomaly, the Sigma male. He doesn't crave the spotlight. He doesn't chase approval. He doesn't mold himself to fit in. And for that very reason, people don't know what to make of him. He unsettles norms, he breaks unwritten rules. And silently, without asking, he commands a kind of respect. That makes others nervous. But here's the truth. Not fitting in doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It could be the clearest sign that you are finally aligning with who you really are. This isn't about being better than others. It's about choosing authenticity over acceptance. And in a culture obsessed with belonging, that choice alone can be terrifying to others and sometimes even to yourself. So let's take a deeper look at the Sigma archetype, why he's misunderstood, why he's feared, and how you can embrace some of that energy, not to isolate yourself from the world, but to rise above it. On your own terms. *1. Why Sigma males stand out even in silence. Sigma males don't announce their presence with grand gestures. They don't need a crowd to feel valid. Their self-worth doesn't depend on applause, and that's what makes them different in the first place. In a world built on social structures, corporate ladders, popularity hierarchies, follower count, Sigma men move sideways. They don't play the game. They walk their own path, guided by inner values, not external rewards. This independence threatens the system. When someone proves you don't have to follow the rules to be respected or successful, it unsettles those who still need validation from outside. The Sigma is a walking contradiction. Yet powerful. Quiet yet commanding. It's disconnected yet deeply self-aware. He doesn't seek to dominate others, but by refusing to be dominated himself, he often rises above them. 2. The fear they trigger. Control cannot be exerted at the core of societies. Fear of the Sigma male lies a single truth. You cannot control a man who doesn't need your approval. People, consciously or not, tend to sort others into boxes. We categorize people based on status, wealth, education, career. It gives us comfort and illusion of order. But the Sigma man doesn't fit. He defies simple definition. He might be successful, but he doesn't boast. He might be brilliant, but he doesn't need praise. He might be attractive, but he doesn't play social games. And because he can't be easily labeled, he can't be easily manipulated. This threatens those who rely on dominance, influence, or persuasion to maintain their power. The Sigma man answers to no one. And that autonomous, quiet, and unshakable can make others deeply uncomfortable. 3. Loneliness versus solitude. The subtle strength of disconnection. Many mistake the Sigma male's solitude for loneliness. But there is a world of difference between being alone and being lonely. Sigma men often choose to be alone, not out of bitterness or fear, but because it sharpens their mind. Solitude for them is not a punishment, it's a discipline. In solitude, the Sigma male reflects, creates, heals, and strengthens. While others fill every silence with noise, he finds his power in it. But of course, this behavior is countercultural. We're taught that isolation is dangerous, that those who walk alone must be broken somehow. But perhaps we've misunderstood. Maybe solitude isn't weakness, it's freedom. Maybe those who stand alone aren't lost. They're just further along the path. And maybe the reason most people fear being alone is because deep down, they've never learned how to be with themselves. 4. The courage to say no to the crowd. It takes strength to say no to others, but it takes real courage to say no to the crowd. Sigma males don't just resist peer pressure, they don't even acknowledge it. They evaluate situations through their own internal compass, not through popular trends. And when the world zigs, they zagged at. This resistance to groupthink often isolates them, but it also protects them, while others get caught in waves of mass behavior. Sigma males remain grounded. Their principles aren't swayed by hashtags, headlines, or herd mentality. This is not contrarianism for its own sake. It's a conscious refusal to let the outside world dictate your inner one. And this is a trait you can cultivate right at home. In your daily life, apply this at home before saying yes to any invitation or commitment. Pause. Ask yourself, am I doing this for me or for someone else's approval? Unplug from social media for 1 weekend per month. Reconnect with your own thoughts, not the crowd's. Start small acts of resistance to societal pressure. Dress how you feel good, not to impress. Speak your truth calmly, even when it's unpopular. Freedom begins with one small no to the things that don't serve you. *5. The value of being underestimated. Another reason Sigma males are feared. They're often underestimated. People assume that quiet equals weak, that solitude equals social failure, that humility equals passivity. But nothing could be further from the truth. Sigma males use underestimation as a hidden weapon. While others are busy proving themselves, the Sigma is learning, observing, mastering. Then when the moment is right, he acts, and often by the time others notice his power, it's too late. This patient, strategic nature makes Sigma men dangerous not in a violent way, but in a deeply competent way. They're not seeking attention, they're preparing. And when you're preparing while others are performing, you win. Apply this at home. Stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Embrace quiet mastery. Pick one skill and develop it silently, relentlessly. Let actions speak. Speak less, deliver more. 6. Why they don't chase and why that drives people crazy. In dating, career, and friendships, Sigma males are rarely the ones chasing. That's not because they're arrogant. It's because they know their value. They don't beg for attention. They don't lower their standards. They don't adjust their authenticity just to win someone over. They attract by being, not by performing. This drives some people crazy, especially those used to manipulating through charm or emotional games. The Sigma male is immune to flattery and uninterested in power plays. And in this resistance, he becomes magnetic, because the truth is, people respect what doesn't chase them. People value what values itself. *7. The internal code unwritten. Unshakable asterisk, what truly separates Sigma males is not their looks, wealth, or even talent. It's their internal code. This is a silent, personal set of principles that guides their life. It's not performative, it's not public. It's deeply personal, but fiercely protected. This code determines how they love, work, speak, and choose. And because it is self-defined, it cannot be revoked by anyone else. Sigma males don't follow society's rules blindly. They write their own and they live by them even when no one is watching. Apply this at home. Write down your top 5 values. Not what you think you should value, but what truly matters to you. Let those values drive your decisions. How you spend money, how you use time, who you trust. Revisit that list monthly. Strengthen your internal compass. 8. The shadow side, isolation, misunderstanding, and burnout. Let's not romanticize the Sigma life. Being misunderstood constantly is exhausting. Being alone too often can turn into disconnection, and holding everything in can lead to silent burnout. Sigma males walk a fine line between independence and isolation. So if you resonate with this path, remember, strength doesn't mean silence. Independence doesn't mean invulnerability. It's okay to seek connections, not dependence. It's okay to feel lonely sometimes. Just don't settle for shallow relationships to fix it. Healthy practice. Keep 1 to 2 people in your life who truly get you. Quality over quantity. Journaling, a Sigma's best friend. Use it to process what you don't always say aloud. Therapy is not weakness, it's mental conditioning. The strongest men know when to seek insight. Conclusion. The man who walks alone But not aimlessly. Sigma male doesn't walk away from the crowd to prove a point. He walks alone because he knows that truth. Growth and clarity often live in the silence the world is too busy to hear. He doesn't need a title to know he matters. He doesn't need applause to know he's doing well. Doesn't need a tribe to stand strong. But that doesn't mean he's heartless or arrogant or better it. Just means he's free. And in a world that fears true freedom, the free man will always be misunderstood. Until one day, others look around and realize he was never behind. He was just ahead, walking quietly, unshaken, with purpose. Final words from one quiet mind to another. Do you see yourself in these words? If you've always felt off or out of sync with the world, you're not broken. You're building yourself differently. And that, my friend, is your gift. So own it, refine it, rise with it. And if this message spoke to you, share it. Let someone else know that not fitting in can be the most powerful place to begin. Support our channel, Awaken Mindset, for more insight, strength, and inner clarity. Because sometimes all it takes is one shift in thought to change the direction of your life.